Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm Maddie on the marketing team here at ALLO, and we're joined by Brad Moline, president of ALLO. We're super excited to have you on live with us today. We have questions that some of you have sent in beforehand, but if you have any, Alyssa is behind the camera monitoring the chat, so feel free to add in any questions you have and we'll throw that in. But while we wait for some people to join, I'm going to ask Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get into fiber in the telecommunications industry?
How did I get into fiber? Well, really the telecommunications, I was living in the South, and my wife, those of you who know her knows that she's the boss.
Yep.
And she said that she wanted to raise our kids back in the Midwest. And so she wanted to come back to the Midwest and invited me to come along with her. So I think that was telling me to find a new career, find a new job. So we started a phone company in Kansas City. There was a group of us, there were 5 of us, and I was the chief financial officer. And then did that for 4 or 5 years and decided to kind of take my toys and do my own thing. And we started ALLO, and the original business plan said no more than 50 employees. Well, I think we've got a few more than that right now. I think we'll cross 900 this month or next. And so the original business plan didn't really play out, but we started off actually not even in fiber, because when we started, it was so long ago, 2002, 2003, that we couldn't even determine that fiber was the solution.
Wow.
We knew we wanted to be in voice. Hadn't decided even what level of internet we were going to offer, because voice was more important. And we started as a business phone company. And so we morphed a few times.
Yep. Well, that's awesome. I think the Midwest thanks you for bringing you and your company to everyone here.
Our company.
Our company, yes. We do have a few questions from our fiber fans out there on social media. So we'll kick it off. Zach on Instagram asked, what do you think of the recent trends surrounding 5G at home? And do you think fiber can outpace it?
Well, without fiber, 5G doesn't exist. And so I've always looked at 5G as complementary rather than as a competitor. Most of the markets we operate in are, matter of fact, all of them are considered what are tier 2 and tier 3 markets. 5G requires density in order for the economics to work. Obviously, it can work technically anywhere, but it's just too expensive per customer, in my opinion, in the tier 2 and tier 3 markets. So we won't see probably as much 5G. Maybe some of our companies will. I think the 5G applications for business and enterprise business, maybe even some agriculture, maybe, I don't know, might be bigger than residential. So I look at the 5G providers as a customer much more than a competitor, and we'll all coexist.
Yep, partnering to bring everyone better service.
Absolutely.
Steve on LinkedIn asked, does ALLO use contract vendors for support with fiber installation?
Do we use contract vendors? Very little, but we do use some. We've had some times right now it is difficult to find enough employees, enough teammates. We always want people to be permanent. We always want people to just kind of share in that love, if you will. But we have gone outside and added some contractors. I would say less than 5% of our installations, and probably less than 3 have been done through contractors. But it's better to use contractors than to delay the service. And so we have done that. Is it our plan long-term? We always want to minimize them.
Yep. We do have lots of jobs, so come join us.
Yeah, absolutely. And that has to do with business or residential. We try to always have an ALLO employee come in the home or business. We feel it just helps us use our values much better. The customers get to learn about us, those types of things.
Yeah, I think it's really beneficial for the ALLO employees to see that firsthand too and get to experience the difference that they're making to those customers. So definitely important to have those ALLO people out in front of them.
Well, one of our core values is to be local. And it's for ALLO to be local, not a vendor to be local on behalf of ALLO. And so that's pretty important to us.
That's awesome. All right, Joe on Twitter asks, is the network in Lincoln capable of delivering speeds over 1 gig to residential? And is that something coming?
I don't know if he's been in our meetings, but all our new markets are coming up with next generation PON, which is 10 gig enabled. We've also in Lincoln specifically put 10 gig enabled electronics within the city of Lincoln, and we're testing the service right now. And then we'll add it to all the different communities over time, because we have to make sure that we're offering world-class service to all our customers in all of our markets. Very important to us. It's just now rolling out, and so I can't wait to see what comes of it, because it was interesting when we started, back in 2004, 2005, we were trying to convince people that fiber was better than the telecom circuits, a T1, 1.5 meg and that. Well, now we're ratcheting all the way up to people are saying, hey, when's 10 gig coming, or 2.5 gig is actually what we'll be rolling out first. And at each time people say, isn't that enough bandwidth? And the answer is it never is. Whether it's for work from home, learn from home, gaming, I guess the metaverse is the new term and trend. Hang on. I can't predict where it's going, but I can tell you that by having an all fiber background or backbone, we're in better shape.
Yeah, I really see that, and we always say ALLO is taking to the fiber future, but it's true. Like right now, we think that this was the future of yesterday, but we always need to be thinking about the future of today. So that's really awesome.
Well, we saw it with COVID. All these people had to move home and move home quickly. We said our network was ready for the future. We just didn't know the future was going to happen in 1 week in March of 2020. The network performed terrifically and continues to.
Yep, that's awesome. Okay, Greg asks, when is ALLO coming to McCook? Also, who's winning the World Series?
Well, I've known Greg forever, and actually, I don't know if I ever won a baseball game against him, but I coached baseball against Greg, so I know exactly who that is. He's a big Florida fan. But let's start off with baseball. I'm a little bit of a hybrid between, I used to live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and so I became a big Braves fan. But I'm also a Royals fan. Well, the Braves, I don't think are going to repeat. Freddie Freeman last night going to the Dodgers, that's a problem. So I guess the Dodgers would be who I'd have to pick to win the World Series. And is ALLO coming to McCook? McCook was actually one of our very first markets. I think we started selling there in 2004. Matter of fact, that was my first sale in telecom. I remember pulling up to the newspaper there and making that sale when we were just starting. Will we come to McCook? I thought others would have provided fiber ubiquitously through McCook by now. Hasn't happened, so it's still on our list, and stay tuned.
Yep, always more to come, so for sure. And good luck to the Dodgers. Now you got Brad Moline backing up this season. One of your favorite fiber fans, Delinda, asked, as a member of the Time Trap band, what is your best wedding memory?
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Delinda, who's done some wonderful things for us out of the Alliance office. She's been a friend of mine and my wife since, high school. Those of you out in western Nebraska and maybe a little bit central, Delinda owns an ice cream truck, and she delivered goodies to different events for us. But my band played for her wedding, so I have to say, and it's the only time I've played in a band since I was 15. It's the only wedding I think I've ever been to that had two bands.
Oh,
And
wow.
so there's a country band and our rock band. So her wedding had to be the best. Although I guess I also played for my wife and I's wedding. So maybe hers was the second best.
Yeah, good answer. I bet your wife would appreciate that. All right, changing a little bit of gears, going away from the questions that our followers have sent in. Just want to take a little bit of a look back, and I know you kind of already answered some questions about what we're looking to do in the future, but how has your vision changed from almost 20 years ago when you started ALLO to now? What would be one key thing that has changed?
Well, it's changed so much. I said never more than 50 employees. Well, that went up. What's really the change and the future is we pay a lot of attention to our Net Promoter Score. Our Net Promoter Score bounces between 65 and 70. And as long as that 65 to 70 exists, we'll keep expanding to new markets, continue to evolve all the products we offer, and get, I guess, bigger. Our goal isn't to, be a national group or even to be a super regional group, but it's starting to happen. And it's because of our team. Our team takes such good care of our customers, and our customers appreciate what we're delivering. As long as that's working together, we'll keep growing. What will we be in the future? Who knows?
Yeah.
I just know that as long as we're providing quality service, that we'll keep doing more of it, and having fun. That's the other thing. I have a philosophy: is it worth it? And right now, I've never had more fun than I do right now. That's unusual, 2 decades in, but the team's great, and I'm really glad I'm not the one who has to make the sales calls anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty good closer, so if the salespeople need some help, or I can weasel my way into making a few calls, I do enjoy it, but
Yes.
they're much better than I was.
I bet you're great. I will back you up on the last remark, though. I've had so much fun. I've been here less than a year, so it's exciting to hear that after being in this industry for 2 decades, you're still finding ways to have fun in your job and expand that. Yeah,
I just think that I'm incredibly lucky, and we're all incredibly lucky to be in this industry. It's not a grind. It's, wow, look at the opportunity, and it's really fun when customers say, God, I love the fact you did X, or I can't wait till you come to my town. What business has that? I mean, this is wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great
While we're
place to
kind of
be.
talking about fiber growth, we actually have a question from one of our fiber fans. Zach said, with all the new cities that you guys are expanding to, do you see more jobs opening up for people in these new markets, or are we going to kind of stick to the markets we have now and send employees around to travel?
Well, that sounds like someone internally asking that. Do we have jobs available? Oh my gosh, I think we have more than 200 available right now, but we're going through a large growth phase. Many markets in Nebraska, Colorado, and Arizona are coming available. And so there's all kinds of opportunity. Yes, there's also opportunity for our experienced people and their experienced teammates from ALLO to move from one market to the other. That's a great way to grow, get promoted, those types of things, but also bring the culture to the new market. We have a unique culture. We treat professionals as professionals. We have fun. We work hard. We go above and beyond for the customer. We try not to think internal. We try to think external. All those things come together, and so yes, we will have people move from one market to the other. But wow, we've got a lot of positions open, and we'll have new positions in the future as new products come out and demands. It's going to be an interesting next 5-10 years because things aren't slowing down.
I'll say that's one of the things that I was most in awe about working here and hopping around to other markets that we're in and seeing that culture really does trail and connect. And you will meet someone in the current market you're working in, you'll see them in another market later on, and everyone is so personable. And that really is crazy to me that a company that, and start with those small roots is still like keeping that within internal culture. So that's awesome.
Literally the most important thing, is because we need to have that servant leadership, the customer first attitude, our 4 core values. We need to be local and hassle-free and exceptional and honest in all that we do. And as long as we're doing all those things, the business becomes easier. And if we're not doing those things, then the business isn't as much fun, and it's frankly pretty hard.
Yeah.
We actually have a ALLO employee, Michael, commented on the video after you just talked about that, Brad, and said, "I've been with the company for over 4 years, and this company has been the best culture I've ever been in. Everybody's treated as family here, and I think that shows in our customer service." So that's pretty awesome.
I'll correct him. I don't consider it as much a family as it is a team, because sometimes families aren't this competitive, and not with each other, but in what you do, and how we treat our business. But great comment, and if we're ever not, please call me on it.
Any others on that side of the chat, Alyssa?
We have a pretty techie LinkedIn user, and I'm probably going to butcher this comment, so Brad, you might have to save me. They asked, do you have any thoughts around ALLO providing fiber interconnect to the public hyperscalers, for instance, Megaport or Equinix Internet Exchange?
Well, this may be above my pay grade as well, but the various internet exchanges, and I think what he's driving at is caching and getting to the tier 1 locations within the internet. And absolutely, we connect there now as different demands. Whether it's 5G or how we attach to the rest of the world, it continues to evolve. We've got some new connections in Vegas coming up at some of the locations there, Chicago, those, but we're also doing a lot of front end caching and that, so people have just an awesome experience. And hopefully that was the question that was being asked. If not, I'll take it to one of our more technical people.
Awesome. Thank you. Alyssa, any more on that end?
We're all good on our side.
Okay, awesome. So we do like to ask this, and I know you've answered it before, so we're curious to see if your answer has changed. But if you weren't the president of ALLO, what position would you choose?
Within ALLO?
Yes.
If I wasn't the president, I still love the sales process. I like the talking with customers, hearing what their needs, challenges are, matching those needs and challenges with our products, showing how we can be awesome, and then having the team deliver. It's just great. When we were first starting, I remember we were probably 6-7 years in. I was in one of our new markets, and we were just trying to open. I was very involved in. We probably had 50, 60 employees at the time, in some of the details. And a guy sent over a dessert, and I'm like, I didn't order this dessert. And they said, "Oh, this guy, I said, well, what's the deal? And he said, hey, thanks for being here. I love your service. This is awesome. I thought, wow, how often do people buy you meals or buy you drinks when you're in telco? So I love the sales process.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm sure we have positions open if you ever want to change your career at this point. But
Most people will know I'm not very good on social media.
yeah, you're doing great so far.
Well, you guys make me do great.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, maybe it was a coincidence, maybe it wasn't that we planned this on St. Patrick's Day, but we had to give the people some ALLO Green love on today. Are you doing anything fun to celebrate?
Well, to celebrate, I drove from western Nebraska to eastern Nebraska and got here, 3 minutes before this started. 4.5-hour drive. So I'm not sure what my wife and I want to do, but we'll be down the rail yard in Lincoln and probably have some dinner and hopefully find, there's an Irish bar down there that I really like, but I'm guessing it's going to be a little crowded.
Yeah. Well, you might catch Brad Moline down in the Haymarket if you have any other dying ALLO questions today, but thank you so much for coming all the way from Western Nebraska to join us. This was so fun, and we're looking forward to doing more of these live streams. We really enjoy bringing in our fiber fans to get to ask their own questions and keep you looped in on what we're doing here at ALLO. So this has been such a fun time. We're looking forward to it. So thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you.